All right. Hello, Lebanon. Another episode of Vet Talk. Here today with Freddie Brock. Not our first time on, but something new that AUSA has coming up in the near future. Mm-hmm. What is that?
So next Thursday in Richland, we'll do our, I can't even count the number of ceremonies we've done, but we'll have a ceremony in Richland where we'll recognize Vietnam-era veterans.
Okay.
During that ceremony, one of the veterans will be our 1500 veteran that we recognize since we started this in September 2021 with First Sergeant Joe Thomas of Lebanon was the very first veteran we recognized.
So started in 2021 and already your 1500th.
Right. So the program actually started in 2012.
Okay.
President signed it into law, and it was a 13-year period to recognize 7 million plus living Vietnam-era veterans and their families. And then leading up till November the 25th, or the 5th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War. So that program actually ended November 30th, but we just continue with it.
Nice.
Veterans are still here. So.
Oh, yes.
So it's been great. We've had ceremonies. We pushed a car out of the garage because it started raining one time. A Marine Corps veteran wanted to do it in front of the flagpole because he has a Marine flag flying. And all of a sudden the sky opened up. So we went in there and pushed the car out, and myself and Roger Lehman, we did a ceremony, and he had his family and his grandchildren were there to see it.
Nice. So if a Vietnam veteran wanted to be a part of this ceremony, what do they have to do for that?
Just call me.
Just call?
Just call me, and then we'll get them on the list. We'll get the certificate and the pin available. And then come to Richland next week. Okay,
so it doesn't require a whole lot of lead time up, prior to the event for someone
No lead time and no paperwork. If a veteran tells me he served between 1 November 1955 and 15 May 1975, we're doing a certificate.
Okay.
So we look forward to it. Hitting the 15th one, it's fascinating that our chapter has continued doing this up and down. Mainly up and down 44, but the former city administrator here, Mike Schumacher, when he went to St. Joseph, he invited us to come up there, and we had about 165 veterans at his ceremony.
So is this something that if they went on the Mid-Missouri AUSA chapter on Facebook, could they message that too?
They could message the Facebook page, email me, call me.
Okay.
But yet they could message our Facebook page.
Well, I'm sure we can get a pin for your email and your phone number to this video when it goes up.
And I tell them, we'll take your name all the way up to the time I leave the house and drive to Richland for the ceremony next week.
So 9 in the morning.
It'll be 9 in the morning.
Okay.
Looking for a great ceremony. Major John Beck from Portland Wood will be our guest speaker, and as you know, he's a fantastic soldier.
Yes. I've seen him as a guest speaker quite a few times, and always a pleasure to have him involved in these events that you guys put on for the veterans and that. Last time you were here, you were president of the Mid-Missouri chapter for AUSA. You're no longer president. However, you went up to regional, correct?
I did. I got voted to be the next region president for the next 3 years.
Okay. Well,
so we cover
congratulations. Maybe.
Thank you. 11 chapters. We cover in 13 states, or 11 states, I'm sorry, and the states in the Midwest. So it'll be fun we got 3 chapters in Kansas, 2 here in Missouri, Minnesota, Illinois. So it looks, a lot of traveling. They invite me and I'll be there.
Yeah.
And look forward to it. And I still, stay involved in our local chapter here.
So for the ones watching this podcast, our local chapter, can you give them just a brief idea of what that does for veterans in our community?
Yeah, when AUSA was formed, it was formed as the premier professional organization for the soldier. Prior to it being formed, branches or whoever, they would take care of themselves. I need more tanks, I need more infantry soldiers and weapons. But when AUSA was formed, it was formed to everybody come together to take care of the soldier, the veteran, their family, and the DA civilians. And then locally, we stay heavily involved in the community. mainly up and down 44. But again, we have gone other places. That chapter covers north of Columbia, west of Springfield, all the way down to the Arkansas border.
And
So it's
what
a
do you
huge chapter.
what do you have to do, or what's the requirements to be a member of AUSA?
To be an engaged citizen.
That's it.
You can check the block that you're retired or you serve, but truthfully, somebody who, believes like we do, taking care of the soldier and their families.
So you don't have to have that prior service experience
Correct.
or anything to be a member of AUSA. You just want to have a passion and willingness to help veterans and, in coordination with that, help your local community.
That's true, and we have a free basic membership. And I tell people, okay, join as a free member for 2 years and see how you like it, and if you like it, then there's a premium membership. Right now, it's $30 for 2 years.
And those, I would assume, come with different benefits, or
the premium members get all the benefits. There's 100+ companies that support. When you can go to, say, a Dell computer and say, I got 2 million members. What can you do for my members? Like you see all these other big companies out here that, their members have benefits. But when you sit there and say, I got 2 million members, what can you do for our members? So we have about 100+ companies that you can get discounts from. And then, free basic gets about 96% of those benefits. There's a couple that you have to be a premium member.
So coming back around, those memberships and that allows AUSA to continue programs like the Vietnam pinning ceremony, the War Medallion ceremony,
Correct.
Other things we've done in the past.
It helps us, or it supports us. As you know, we only do one fundraiser a year, and that's the golf tournament, the annual golf tournament. And, that's for our scholarship. But the memberships, the paid memberships is what helps the chapter do all the great things. We just finished up, we did what we call a military family night out at Culver's in St. Robert, where we had 120 spots, and the message goes out, and the first 120 family members that sign up get to go to, and come to Culver's, and they check in with us while we're out front, and then they go inside, they get a free value meal, a drink, and a dessert.
And that's, if I remember correctly, T's Steakhouse here in Lebanon did something very similar to that.
So we've done Culver's and T's, but we went to T's, and we put the message out. And then the great thing about that is that we have veterans that eat at T's and they knew nothing about it. And when they walked in the door, we were hey, are you a veteran? And they started trying to dig for stuff and want to pull out his VA identification card. One has his ID card. And, if you tell us you're a veteran, all right. So they went in and, we worked with Tina and got a great discount, and we were able to feed, I think, about 85 people.
Nice.
Come to T's and got a free meal.
All right. So this pinning ceremony for the Vietnam veterans, it's at 9 a.m. on the 30th.
Correct.
And that's at the First Christian Church in Richland.
It's true. If you come down Highway 7, turn right before the railroad tracks.
Okay. And if anybody wants to be recognized during that's a Vietnam veteran, they just need to reach out to you or
Correct.
the Facebook page for the Missouri AUSA chapter.
Yeah, and we love to have them. We're going to, during the ceremony, or after the ceremony, they're going to have, pastries and coffee and tea and lemonade afterwards. So
a little social.
The game plan is that the soldiers or the veterans hang around and talk to one another. We did one at the Ark about 3 years ago, and there was 5 veterans. They all joined at the same time, and that was 50 years later was the first time they'd been together.
Wow.
And they just found each other there, so that was pretty neat. So and just talking with them, hearing all the great stories.
That's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
Being around them, hearing, your service, my service, a lot more recent than that, and to sit down and hear someone talk about something that was back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And times have changed a lot.
So we did our very first one. We did on Fort Leonard Wood. We had he was an MP sergeant in Vietnam, 1968-69, with the 25th MP Company. And then I had 2 NCOs, one from the Afghanistan War and one from Iraq War. And they sit down and we're talking issues that each one of them had during their time period, during their war. And the issues were the same. And it was unique. The issues had not changed in the 50-plus years. that First Sergeant Thomas, had 1968, 69 in Vietnam, weapons maintenance, vehicle maintenance, discipline, pay issues,
Always.
issues back home. It was just unique just to be able to hear the conversation on how First Sergeant Thomas was there, and then the two veterans from our current wars. So I enjoyed that.
Well, if you would like to participate in or know somebody that's a veteran of the Vietnam era, please reach out to Freddie next Thursday at the Richland First Christian Church.
Correct.
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Okay.
It should be a great ceremony. I look forward to hearing General Beck speak. I think it'll be one of his last speeches. But he's a great guy, Silver Star recipient himself from Afghanistan. So I know he'll be able to relate to those soldiers there, those veterans.
All right. Well, thank you for coming down today, talking with us. And again, Richland First Christian Church, 9 a.m. on the 30th, Vietnam pinning ceremony.
Thank you.
Thank you.